Morning, everybody. Another day, another set of results from Southern Cross. This time we've got 6 holes from Golden Dyke, and golden it is by name and golden it is by nature. This was the most significant mine on the historic Sunday Creek goldfield. It was started to be mined in the 1870s, right up through past World War One. It was the antimony from Golden Dyke, was one of the only couple of mines that supplied the British Allies for antimony, along with Costerfield. So it's got pedigree, but it's a little sad in many ways that the old timers took it down to 180 meters, and now we're drilling and drilling and drilling beneath their old workings, and we're finding extraordinary results that are very high grade. We've got hundreds of grams here over thinner zones, meters at ounces. So great results. But most importantly, we're finding continuity between structures where we want to see it, and we're extending mineralization 30 to 60 meters further west. And that's no small measure. That's a large block of ground that has additional mineralization that we didn't know before. So we're seeing growth, continuity, and grade holding up incredibly well at Golden Dyke. So the continuity of these results is a reflection of the system and how it works. Remember, this was mined for 50 years, so we've got great confidence in how these structures hold together. But when we're drilling and we're looking at it slightly differently than the old timers who just mine the very high grades, we're mining the lower grade 2 to 10 gram dirt between the very high grades, if you like. We've got a geological model, and a credit to our geological team who've put this together piece by piece, and these are more pieces. There's something like 48,000 structural measurements now that sit over the 1.4 kilometres down to a kilometre that help inform beneath those old workings the orientation of these structures. And then there's thousands and thousands of assays as well. And with that geological understanding, the like for like intersections where we're finding the high grades and we can match them with intersections above, we're becoming predictable. We almost know to the moment where we're going to hit these structures. That goes to the system itself, that it is predictable, but equally that the geological model is very close to what nature's telling us. So it's all those things that are happening together that allow this predictability to occur. So Sunday Creek is developing on so many levels. We've talked about the expansion at the scale of this press release. We've talked about the continuity of the high grades. But what we have is a 1.4 kilometre trend that we've drilled down to 1 kilometre. That still is being infilled. There's probably 2/3 of that area that has been drilled. That is in now an exploration target that will be updated on over the next quarter. We've just put a hole 300 or 400 meters below that. We're putting another hole 600 meters below that kilometer. So we want to demonstrate the system continues and continues. And remembering that 1.4 kilometers is part of a 10-kilometer long sequence. We've got drill rigs 8 kilometers away. We've got a drill rig 8 kilometers away. So there's so much opportunity along that strike as well. So not only do we have one of the highest grade gold discoveries globally, we've only just started to test it. And then it gets even better, I suppose, in terms of these systems, as we all know, or a lot of people know, that they change at depth. You lose the antimony after 500 or 600 meters. There's antimony in spades in these drill holes. But as we go deeper, the system transitions to very high grade results. We're seeing that in this deposit. Fosterville saw it at its deposit at that change, and really we've only got into that. If you think we've got 5 zones from Christina, Golden Dyke, Rising Sun, Apollo, and Apollo East. We've got only really Rising Sun that is drilled into that transition where it really becomes a lot better. And 4 out of the 5 zones are just starting to touch into that zone. So science would suggest that there's so much more to come from Sunday Creek. So specifically, we've got 6 holes here reported from Sunday Creek, going chronologically, not necessarily from the best. Hole 193 had 3 vein sets. It hit the upper Rising Sun area and then drilled into Golden Dyke as it was drilled from the east to the west. And some of the better hits there included 3.7 meters at 15.8 grams of gold equivalent. We saw grades up to 254 grams over 20 centimeters there lower in the hole over broader zones. Hole 197 expanded the western extension of Golden Dyke 30 to 50 meters outside the current exploration target. We saw 0.7 meters at an ounce equivalent, 29.5 grams. It included 75.6 grams gold equivalent. So some very high grades there. Some broader lower grade zones, 5.4 at 2 and 9.6 at 1.4. Hole 203, which went from the east to the west, had 5 veins intersected. It was drilled 40 to 60 meters vertically above other intersections. We saw lots of high grades there. We saw 286, 187 grams gold equivalent, 166 grams gold equivalent, 126 grams equivalent over thinner zones within broader zones that you can see there. So some great results. And then the last hole that hit some zones of interest was hole 210. So we're getting up there now. It had 6 vein sets intersected, a long strike, and up and down vertically. And again, we saw plus 100 gram numbers, 111 grams, 252 grams, extraordinarily high grades over tens of centimeters, but with lower grade salvages, the 2 to 10 grams around them. So a fantastic set of results, just bang, bang, bang out of the park again. That goes Golden Dyke. At Southern Cross, we're not here to create the biggest gold mine on earth, but we're certainly here aiming to create the highest grade or the highest margin gold mine on earth. And these results take us just one step closer to that aim.